Okay, today we're going to talk about teaching reading. And I know that this is one thing that makes parents a little nervous. How am I going to teach my child to read? But I want to put your mind at ease and say more important than teaching them how to read is actually teaching them to want to read. Because if they want to, then it makes them more motivated when it does come time to teach them to read. And one way to do that is to start reading to them the day they're born. And things like Sandra Boynton's books, Going to Bed, and Mooba, La La La, things that they can read along with you, and then by the time they're 3, they can read it because they've memorized every single word of it. But that's part of reading, is to memorize and know that you turn a page left to right, and know that the things on the page say something. That's all part of reading. So another thing that I want to tell you, too, is that research shows that the later they learn to read, the better reader they become. So if you can just take some of the pressure off yourself to say, oh, they have to read by the time they're done with kindergarten, say, no, they really don't. If they know about reading and they're interested in reading, then when the time comes for them to be able to read by themselves, it'll happen. And you know that in Finland, it's actually against the law to teach a child to read before they're the age of 7. They do not have compulsory education, and yet that country has one of the highest literacy rates of the world. And so I think we can take a little lesson from Finland and say, let's relax a little bit at these early stages and teach the kids to want to read. And so in saying that, one way to do that is to read books to them that are repetitive and engaging, books that have lots of interesting pictures so they're sitting beside you and you're reading. Another thing to do is make sure that you are reading yourself and having fun with books too. Okay, so how do you actually teach to read, teach children to read? The first thing you do is teach them what the sounds make, what letters the sounds make. And so that would be like the letter C. You don't tell them, this is the letter C. You actually say, oh, that says K, K. You teach them the sounds that the letters make. Or if it's a B, you say, oh, that's not, you don't tell them that's a B. You say, oh, that says B, B. And you teach them a T says T. And then once you've taught them 3 letters like B, A, T, then you say, oh, let's put those in this together and say those sounds together. B, A, T, B, A, T. Let's say it fast. Let's say it fast. B, at, B, at, bat, bat. Then suddenly they realize they have just read a word and they get, oh, I'm so excited. And so you can do that with a dry erase board and just writing the letters on the dry erase board, or one of my favorites is those magnetic letters that go in the fridge because they're the actual shape and the kids can hold them and touch them and feel the shapes and manipulate them and do things with the letters too. So that is a very cheap, easy way to get the children interested in learning the sounds that the letters make, not the names of the letters, but the sounds that they make, and putting them together in words. So I do have several parents who ask me what curriculum they should be using, and I don't think you need one, but I will put in my notes for you to read some ideas of curriculum that other people do love and use, and I don't think it's wrong to use it. It kind of gives you a little bit of security. If you have something that you're following, that's okay. My one hesitation is to try not to do a whole lot of writing along with the reading. Let them read, just learning how to read and decode what words are, and let the writing be a separate thing that you're teaching. So mostly you want to teach them to want to read, and then you're going to teach them the sounds that letters say, read them books that repeat, and have fun with that. One other little hint is if your children watch TV, I would put on the closed caption so that when they're watching, they're also reading words that are being said. That's just a little hint on a way to put words in front of your child so that they can be seeing writing as well. And another great thing, when you're driving around and you see signs that they know what the signs are, like McDonald's or Burger King or the UPS truck, the UPS truck, the UPS truck, say, oh, look, there's the UPS, the UPS truck, and say words and help them identify those things like the stop sign. Even though they're not reading it, they're getting the idea that letters say something. And so you can have fun with that too. Okay, if you have questions for me, just email me at Kathy@carrotpatch.com, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And other than that, go out to that library and get a whole stack of books and sit down with your kids and read.